needless to say, devastated and really shaken to my core when I first heard this news. And I spoke to all the girls personally, and I encouraged all of them, any of them who had actually been harmed, to please come forward.
Oprah just can't seem to stay out of controversy. Every time the internet moves on, another celebrity steps forward with fresh accusations. And this time, Terrence Howard has turned the heat all the way up. He's claiming that Oprah was allegedly paid millions to quietly dismantle the careers of black artists behind the scenes. Heavy accusation, right? And as soon as his name entered the conversation, another long-standing mystery resurfaced: Oprah's all-girls school in South Africa. Critics say the story around that school has never fully added up. Over the years, questions, rumors, and uncomfortable headlines have followed it, yet clear answers always seem just out of reach. What makes this even more interesting is that Terrence Howard isn't the first to raise alarms. 50 Cent and Nique warned the public years ago, but instead of listening, people brushed them off as bitter or unstable. For starters, the school was rocked by a major scandal involving a dorm matron, Virginia Toni Braxton, who was charged with multiple counts of sexual misconduct and physical abuse against students. Investigators allege that inappropriate contact took place, including kissing and unwanted touching. What made the situation even more disturbing was the reality that many of these girls came from extremely poor families. This school represented their only chance at an education, and they had nowhere else to turn. Oprah traveled to South Africa personally to address the situation, issuing a public apology and removing the school's headmistress. At the time, many believed that would be the end of the nightmare. But according to critics, that moment was only the beginning of even deeper concerns. In 2011, another shocking incident made headlines when the body of an infant was discovered in a bag belonging to one of the students. The revelation sent shockwaves through the public and raised serious questions about what was happening behind the academy's gates, and whether students were being properly protected and supported. Since then, Oprah's Leadership Academy for Girls has remained surrounded by controversy. Online discussions and conspiracy theories began circulating, with some claiming that students were allegedly going missing or that critical information was being kept out of the public eye. While many of these claims remain unproven, the repeated incidents have kept suspicion alive and fueled years of speculation. And that leads to the question many people are still asking today: how did a school created to empower young girls become surrounded by so much darkness? And why do so many questions remain unanswered? Just when people thought the controversy might finally be over, the school was hit with yet another disturbing incident. This time, 7 students were suspended for harassing and inappropriately touching fellow classmates. That revelation left the public confused and alarmed. Many began asking uncomfortable questions. How could children engage in this kind of behavior unless something had already gone terribly wrong? From that moment on, rumors and speculation intensified. People struggled to understand how multiple serious incidents could occur so close together within the same institution. To critics, it felt less like coincidence and more like a pattern that no one wanted to fully confront. And then, everything escalated.
Make out with Oprah. To have love scenes with her and those tiggle bitties. I mean, she's such a lovely, voluptuous woman. So being able to, she's very, very, very beautiful. And that was wonderful. That was wonderful.
A lot of people weren't feeling this at all. Critics felt Terrence was being disrespectful or trying to diminish Oprah's image. But Oprah herself didn't seem bothered in the slightest. In fact, she openly laughed it off and leaned into the moment, even joking that she wouldn't have minded taking things off camera if Terrence was interested. The clip quickly went viral, with people stunned by how relaxed and bold her response was. Behind the laughter and playful banter, though, things allegedly took a more serious turn. Despite the flirtatious energy and long-standing rumors about their relationship, word on the street is that Terrence didn't hesitate to confront Oprah when he learned about what he claims was happening behind the scenes in the industry. According to him, she was allegedly involved in blocking or undermining the careers of certain black artists. One name that keeps coming up is Taraji P. Henson. Terrence has suggested that Oprah supposedly took issue with Taraji speaking publicly about being underpaid for the color purple.
A raise in my income since Proud Mary. and almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am.
And that this honesty may have cost her professionally. Whether these claims are truth, exaggeration, or something in between, they've reopened a bigger conversation about power, silence, and what really happens when black creatives speak out in Hollywood. 50 Cent didn't hesitate to step in. He reposted a screenshot of the article to his Instagram and made it clear he was ready to work with Taraji, writing, "They dropped the ball. F them, Taraji. I'm ready to work. Let's get it." But this wasn't just 50 being petty or chasing headlines. His support ran deeper. What many people don't realize is that 50 has his own complicated history with Oprah. Much like Taraji, he believes Oprah once tried to shut him down after he publicly criticized her. Back when 50 was first exploding onto the scene, the industry didn't respect him the way it does now. He wasn't seen as a mogul in the making, just a thug who'd been shot 9 times and somehow survived. Determined to change that narrative, 50 reached out to Oprah for an interview, hoping to clean up his image and tell his side of the story. On top of that, his grandmother was a huge Oprah fan, so for him, it felt like a win on every level.
It's my grandmother's home. I came out like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, May 24th. She was bent over, actually planting flowers in the garden, and I walked over here to sit in the actual vehicle that my friend was waiting for me in, and the car pulled up on the side of us. A guy got out the passenger seat of that car, came around behind it, and shot through the actual car.
What does it feel like to be shot? Is it a physical feeling?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much as people imagine it hurts because of your adrenaline and how the shock of what's actually going on. It hurts after.
Did you feel the first one or the 9th one?
I don't even know. I didn't know my legs were broke.
Really?
When I tried to get out the car at the hospital, both of my legs were broke. Like I broke in 3 places on this side, and then
where were you shot?
In my hands, my legs several times, like 5 times in my hands, and then in my legs, and then in my face. Yeah, so when going through that experience, when you get hurt that bad, either your fear consumes you or you become a bit insensitive. Mm-hmm. So just after...
Which one was it for you?
There was a point that I was afraid.
Afraid?
Yeah, following that, actually being shot. It was like I was afraid because everybody involved in the situation was still physically available to shoot the part too.
Yes.
Yeah, to just do it again. And then it was like, I got tired of, in the recovery process, I got tired of being afraid. Mm-hmm. And then the only way that I could, like, to cover those emotions were to be a little more aggressive.
And insensitive.
Yeah, and to be angry about the situation opposed to dealing with how I was actually feeling at that point. And
how were you actually feeling?
The physical part hurt, and there was confusion because
you hurt afterwards. You don't hurt for the immediate.
Yeah, after you know you're going to be fine, it really starts hurting.
And then there's Nique. Nique has been one of the loudest voices accusing Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels of allegedly blackballing her after she refused to do unpaid promotional work for Precious. She's maintained that once she stood her ground, doors started closing fast. What made her situation even more telling was how few people in the industry spoke up for her, until 50 Cent stepped in. 50 publicly backed Nique, posting his support on Instagram and calling for her return to the top. And when people actually showed up to see her perform, they realized something important. The talent never left. The laughs were there. The presence was there. The power was still there. For many, that became the pattern. Artists who speak up get labeled difficult. Those who don't comply get isolated. And the same powerful names keep coming up whenever these stories are told. That post sent shockwaves through the industry. 50 Cent wasn't just showing support. He was issuing a warning. In his view, the damage done to Nique's career had gone on long enough, and the people with the power to fix it needed to take accountability. Whether people agreed with his approach or not, one thing was clear: he wasn't backing down. Then the conversation expanded even further when Toni Braxton's name resurfaced. Toni later revealed how deeply hurt she was by her experience on the Oprah Winfrey show. She admitted that before meeting Oprah, she admired her immensely. But instead of feeling supported, Toni said she felt embarrassed and talked down to, especially during discussions about her finances and lifestyle. To her, the tone felt less like concern and more like public scolding, something she believes was done to appeal to a specific audience. That moment stuck with a lot of viewers. Because once again, the same question came up. Why did these interviews feel more like reprimands when it came to black women, particularly those already in vulnerable positions? As for Terrence Howard, he's known for keeping things close to the chest. He didn't go on social media rants or public tirades. But according to multiple insiders, tensions between him and Oprah reportedly exploded behind the scenes, especially following the controversy surrounding Taraji P. Henson and pay disparities. Whatever was said, people believe it was serious enough to permanently fracture whatever relationship they once had. Now, with all these names being brought back into the conversation, some are speculating that Oprah could be facing a broader reckoning, especially in an era where powerful figures are finally being questioned rather than protected. Whether that speculation holds any weight remains to be seen.